Hello friends, this is Miss Loop here, and the book I have to share with you today is called Cactus Soup. Here it is, front cover and back cover. So this book, Cactus Soup, is by Eric A. Kimmel, and it is illustrated by Phil Hewling. I was actually able to get this at my local library, the Mesquite Public Library in Mesquite, Texas. And this book is 32 pages long. And I would suggest, I believe that students probably in second grade and up would benefit the most from this book. Maybe pushing it to third or fourth just because of the themes that are in here and what it's talking about in terms of social studies. I do believe students as young as pre-K would be able to comprehend and follow what's happening in this story. So I think they would be able to, at least the babies in my class would be able to. And so yeah, I think at least starting with second grade and up. The book is not a hard read. It's not a hard read at all. It's a very easy read. But I think just for in terms of understanding what's in here, third, fourth, and up, it would really be good for them to relate to social studies. And so I give this book a 4 out of 5 star rating. I really appreciated the fact that this book included a lot about Mexican culture. There was even a glossary at the end of the book. I thought that was really helpful because there are probably going to be some students who don't know Spanish. There are going to be adults like myself who are 28 years old who may not know Spanish words. The glossary was actually really helpful for me. There were some words that I didn't understand throughout the book, maybe one or two. And as soon as I turned to the back of the book, I was able to look at the glossary, and I was like, what? So cool. How cool is that? So the glossary is really important and really helpful. So like I said, I'm 28. I don't know all the words there are in the Spanish language. I'm still learning. So if I'm learning, I know the students are learning, so that's great. And this book actually gives us some information about the Mexican Revolution at the end. It does mention Pancho Villa and Emiliano Zapata. And this is actually what I found interesting about this book is that it is pretty much kind of like a little version, you could say, of another story that has actually been told through different cultures and regions of the world. This is a take on a story called Stone Soup. And Stone Soup is, I want to tell you so much, but I can't. But Stone Soup is pretty much the base of this. So instead of stone soup, we have cactus soup. But a little bit more into how this ties into social studies. This ties into Competency 5, History. Now, Competency 5 states that the teacher understands and applies knowledge of significant historical events and developments, multiple historical interpretations, and ideas and relationships between the past, the present, and the future. So the Mexican Revolution was obviously a long time ago. So how this can tie into that, the plot pretty much revolves around these soldiers, a group of troops and soldiers, riding into the town called San Miguel. And the people who live in San Miguel, they are not really knowing what to expect from these soldiers. They go to their mayor and they're like, Mayor, these soldiers are coming. What do we do? What do we do? Help us. The mayor says, you know what? Okay, the soldiers are coming. Let's hide the food. Let's hide all of our corn. Let's hide all of our garlic, onions, vegetables. Let's hide everything, our animals. We have to put mud on ourselves. Wear your dirtiest clothes. We can't have these troops thinking that we have money, that we are doing okay. We need them to think that we're poor. And so once these troops come in, they see how the town looks, they see how the people are, and eventually these troops are hungry, right? Because they've been riding and doing who knows what all day. So eventually they get hungry. And so they're like, you know what? Well, okay, we understand that you're poor. We're just going to make cactus soup. And some of the troops are like, oh no, not cactus soup again. Why? Eventually, the captain of the troops states, hey, you know, Mayor, can someone just go get us the biggest thorn they can find from a cactus and we'll make cactus soup with that? And the mayor's like, okay, sure, no problem, but I don't understand how you're going to make a soup. So here they go, little by little. This is where the story can get a little repetitive or also have an easy plot to follow. But long story short, the mayor, the townspeople, and the captain of the troops are able to make something more than just cactus soup. They're using a lot more than the thorn that there originally was inside of the soup. So at the end, the troops ride off. Everybody is safe and sound. Nothing bad happened. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it does take place in the town of San Miguel during the Mexican Revolution. Now, the townspeople, I can understand where they were a little scared. You know, the Mexican Revolution was a scary time. It was, you know, like any war. There were good times and there were bad times. And so these townspeople, they didn't really know what to expect. They don't know if these troops are going to come in, if they're going to take things. Are they going to bully us, hurt us? What are they going to do for our land? This is our land. We live here. We work these crops. We raise these animals. We feed our children. We grow all of this. We take care of all of this. What are they going to do? And during the Mexican Revolution, there was actually a general named Pancho Villa. Now, Pancho Villa was very famous because he and his troops actually invaded a town called Columbus, New Mexico at one point. And it was actually also alongside Camp Furlong, which was a U.S. Army base kind of thing in that time, an army post, you could say. And Pancho Villa and his troops, when they rode through there, they stole merchandise, they stole horses, they stole anything they could, guns, ammunition, bullets, all of those things. They just took it and stole it. Now, of course, remember, this is a time where people are fighting. There's not going to be nice things done or said. So I can understand why the townspeople were kind of like, you know, I don't think we want to share. Maybe we should hide everything. Let's play it safe. You never know. So I can understand where they were coming from. But the thing about San Miguel is that it's actually now in present day, it's called San Miguel de Allende, and it's in Mexico. And it's actually located in an eastern part of Mexico, called Guanajuato. So it's in Guanajuato, Mexico. And Guanajuato is actually 170 miles away from Mexico City. And Mexico City is the capital of Mexico. Of course, here's Texas, and Mexico is under us. So this is to the south, okay? We're up north in Texas. Mexico's down south. And the cool thing about San Miguel is it actually got its name from two different people. So the first person that it got its name from was a 16th century friar. And a friar is kind of like a religious man, a man of cloth. He has a lot to do with religion and churches. And his name was Juan de San Miguel. And then another person who gave San Miguel de Allende its name was Ignacio Allende. And he was a Mexican independence martyr. So a martyr is someone who is, I guess you could say in nicer terms, bullied or hurt for believing in what they believe in. And so that's how San Miguel de Allende got its name from two different people. Very interesting. So imagine having a city named after you. I would feel real nice and popular. So since San Miguel de Allende is in Mexico, they have a Mexican flag. We might have seen it before. You may not have, and that's okay. So the Mexican flag, I'm going to show you real quick. Looks like this. So the Mexican flag has green on the far left. It has a brown eagle, or it says a Mexican golden eagle. They call it a Mexican golden eagle right in the middle, and the middle part is white. And then you have red on the far right. So This flag is the Mexican flag. You may have seen it. The bird is usually brown, like I said, the eagle. And the eagle is actually, it has a snake in its mouth, and it's standing on a prickly pear cactus. And prickly, of course, cactus soup. We're in Mexico here. Cactus or cacti are everywhere in Mexico. They're you can, people in Mexico are like, oh, cactus. And not only that, they're everywhere, but they also have a fruit on them called tuna. So if you're saying it with a, with an accent, it would be tuna, but it's actually called a prickly pear. We call it a prickly pear, and some people in Mexico call it tuna. That's how they know it. And it's like a little fruit, and it looks like a little mini cactus. It's colorful sometimes. I've tried it, and I personally don't like it, but I know a lot of people who actually do like it. And so the flag, the Mexican flag, some people actually like to say that the Mexican flag kind of symbolizes a triumph of good over evil, with the eagle eating the snake. And it actually goes back, some people tie the flag in with a story of how the founding of Mexico City came to be way back in the day. It used to be called Tenochtitlan. So Tenochtitlan, it's a really long word. It's a little complicated to say, but some people tie in the story of Tenochtitlan with the eagle and why it's on the flag. So kind of interesting there. And so one of the cool things I found out about San Miguel de Allende is there are a lot of nice, I guess you could say, places to visit, landmarks, scenery. There are a bunch of pretty places. So just to name a few, we have the Parroquia de San Miguel Arcángel, Fábrica La Aurora, and we also have El Jardín, which jardín means garden in Spanish. So if you see jardín, it's garden. There's a chapel of Jimmy Ray, and it's actually a gallery. Santuario de Antonolico. There's a bunch of really pretty places. But what I want to do real quick is I'm going to show you a few of these landmarks, and I want to show you on Google Earth. Google Earth is a really cool tool, my apologies, is a really cool tool to use when you are wanting to look up places. It could be your house, it could be San Miguel de Allende, wherever you want, you could pretty much look up. And it's a little scary, not gonna lie, because the things you can look up on Google Earth are really, it just kind of blows your mind, because you're there without being there. You're looking on your technology, your iPad, your computer, your phone, but you're there without being there. But either way, I'm going to show you how this works. So you can go to Google Earth. If you have an iPhone, I believe Google Earth actually has an app that you can use. So here is our Google Earth app. And what I'm going to do, is I'm going to type in at the very top search bar, I'm going to type in San Miguel de Allende. And as we search it, look at that. It just zoomed. Wherever Google Earth was, it said, no, you want San Miguel de Allende? I got you. And it pulled it right up. And you saw how it moved. It's very interactive. It's fluid. You can pinch in and out, guys. You can see so many things. So if we actually zoom out, this shows you the border of San Miguel de Allende. So those red lines are actually the borders. If we zoom in more, we get closer and we see more cities. If we zoom in more, we see land. Guys, you can zoom in so much on Google Earth. We're starting to see houses and roads. That is how interactive Google Earth is. And there are so many things you could look up. So we looked up San Miguel de Allende. That's the city that our book Cactus Soup took place in. Now, if we want to go to Mexico City, which is the capital of Mexico, remember, Mexico City is 170 miles away from San Miguel de Allende. That's far. So boom, here's Mexico City. We can pull it up. How cool is that? And you can see there's a lot more land here. It looks more, either it's land or maybe it's dirt. If we zoom in, we can see it's actually houses. So it's a really neat feature to look at. Really cool, and it takes you boom right there. So we can look up a landmark, sorry. So we looked up our capital of Mexico City. We looked up San Miguel de Allende. Let's see. Let's look up our Parroquia de San Miguel Arcángel. And what that is that's actually a group of cathedrals, and they're in a little central plaza, and these cathedrals actually can change colors at different times of the day and different times of the year. So it's really cool. I'm sure in the holiday season it's beautiful. So what we can do is we can search that up. And remember, your search bar on Google Earth is at the very top, okay? And some of these words, they're kind of hard to pronounce, but that's okay. Parroquia de San Miguel. We're all learning. See, Miss Luke didn't grow up speaking Spanish. I had to learn by ear, and I also took some classes in high school. Boom, we pulled it up. Parroquia San Miguel Arcángel. And what's cool about Google Earth too is you can zoom in, and it also gives you pictures. You can look through different pictures. You can scroll. And guys, these places are beautiful. Look at those cathedrals. So, so pretty. These are beautiful places. So we looked up that one. And let's look up one more. Let's see. There was actually a really cool place I wanted to show you guys. I took a screenshot that way I wouldn't forget. It's called San Miguel Parque de Aventuras. So the San Miguel Park of Adventures. Y'all, they have a swinging bridge. Look at that. That's a swinging bridge over a huge, like a canal, a canyon. That's scary, but how cool is that? Look how pretty it is. The sky is clear. You can even look it up on Google Maps if you wanted to. Super cool. Let me see if we can look it up on Google Earth. What was it? The Parque, oops. San Miguel Parque de Aventuras. Parque de Aventuras. I found it. Boom. How cool. How cool. And you can see where you would be for the little... That is just so neat, guys. I love it. And one last thing before we leave, I want to show y'all and tell y'all about some foods that you can eat when you go to San Miguel. So we have beautiful scenery there, right? Well, I say we, but one day I should go. That way I can see what it's really like. But there are some things I wanted to show you that you could also do if you were to ever visit. Things that are local to the area. Did you also know that Frida Kahlo set up some of her art salons there, like art shows? Frida Kahlo set up in San Miguel de Allende. And they actually came out with a biopic in 2002, and it was starring Salma Hayek. She played Frida Kahlo. Frida Kahlo was an artist. And she, along with the producers, they actually went to San Miguel de Allende. That way they could film some scenes for the movie. And I think that is so cool. Tying the history into something present is really neat. You can almost get a sense of what it might have been like in her time and when Frida Kahlo was alive, just to see how it would have been. And there was also a man called Pedro Vargas, who was born in San Miguel de Allende. He is actually he was a singer and actor. And Vance Packard was actually a writer who was very native to San Miguel de Allende. And he was actually famous for his work relating to the advertising industry. He was a writer, so cool fact. But last but not least, if you ever If I could pull this up, guys, I would love to show you. If you ever go to San Miguel de Allende, you can get some tasty food, such as, guys, this looks so good. Salsa verde enchiladas. Mexican food. If you have not had Mexican food, you should. Enmoladas. Now, enmoladas are actually a mix. They're a mixture of enchiladas and mole. Mole is a traditional Mexican dish. Some people like it, some people don't. But this is a mixture of the two. It's the mole sauce that you see here, this brown sauce, and the enchiladas are what's covered in the sauce. You could also try some green pozole or pozole verde. Guys, I'm telling you, Mexican food, delicious. And it's authentic because it's in Mexico. Y'all know how many generations these recipes have been passed down for? Oh, goodness gracious. Barbacoa. Now, we have barbacoa here in the United States. Of course, I'm sure it's better in some places than others. But barbacoa is actually usually made by cooking meat underground. It could be lamb, it could be mutton, it could be goat, it could be cow. Some people even get cow heads and roast them and cook them, and they eat the meat from the cow. So that's barbacoa. But enough of that. I don't want to keep too much of your time, but I did really enjoy sharing some things about San Miguel de Allende with you. I really liked that my book Cactus Soup was able to tie into a lot of different things, culture, the time period, and I hope you had fun because I had fun talking to you. And until next time, bye.